Hello there, everyone. It's me, Soul17 here. Let me get first, like usual, right now in this picture, not paid video. Okay. Reason why I don't have a thumbnail for this, because I just only making new what ifs thumbnails. So yeah, sorry about that. If you want one for your series, but I mean, for the old ones I made, I just think the picture looks, good for them. The new ones, you know, a thumbnail. So yeah, all right. Uh, I got into a anime yesterday, and I watched the whole entire thing, the whole entire anime episodes of what they had. Um, I'm gonna have to look at the name of it, but know this: I thought of a really funny idea for a Rinakumura and another Issei what if. I'm not doing Naruto um or Deku what if for this one. So let me get the name of it and let me tell you guys then. Okay, the name of the anime, I'm gonna pronounce this really wrong. Jujutsu Kaisen. 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 I do not know how you say it right, but yeah, I got into that anime, and now I want to make a what if with Sakuna or Sukuna. I just want to make a what if with it. So I'm kind of thinking, Dragon Boy, boy basically, eats a finger. He gets the power of Sakuna before Sukuna, I mean, the power of Sukuna before he gets impaled by the spear. He finds out a weird thing, and it says beef. If for some reason it says beef jerky, he eats it, and boom! He gets the power of curse powers. Which Renair will be like, oh crap, she runs. Or the power of Runakumura, Satan Flames. It's after he eats it, a cursed being comes and tries to kill him. And, well, Rune accidentally eats the finger. Yeah, I'm still working in progress on thinking of those, but nope. Maybe making a couple more Issei what ifs, maybe just like one more for him. But yeah, enough of me explaining. Let's just get into this. Alright. Okay, so this is what if Issei had Kaneki's powers. Part 2. By the way, I tried to make this what if last night. Nope, couldn't. I nearly, fell asleep. So yeah. Because I was up all night one day, or the night before. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into this. So, as I left off at the last part, Issei's, wakes up and, after, because he helped out Asuna, yeah, with, you know, just unpacking, and when he did, he, went to bed and slept. Drake, tells him, he says, Issei, I got something to warn you about. He goes, yeah? What is it, Drake? He says, the White Dragon Emperor. And he goes, huh? White Dragon? What do you mean? He goes, kid. Basically says, kid, you aren't the only dragon. There is a white and red dragon. The white dragon is the red dragon's mortal enemy. His name is Avion. And he was like, oh. So just like you. So, I get it. So we're gonna have to fight each other one day, right? He was, yeah. But with your skills. And, well, since you're a ghoul, it doesn't seem like you'll be able to be killed by him. Even what he does, his abilities won't affect you at all. Well, much. Plus, because of me, it seems like you can enhance your ghoul abilities and your Kagune abilities to even go further beyond than what, well, I've been talking to Kaneki and he told me what he can do. By the way, I have not watched season 3, I have not watched that, so I do not know what, Kaneki gets by, when people say the Reaper form, and that's just like him, Agile Kaneki, yeah, Issei kind of gonna have something similar to that, but it's more like Issei's, the gonna be heartless at times, but when he becomes back to his old self, full on blown emotions. So basically, Issei will basically almost kill someone. So yeah, that's all it's gonna be like. But for right now, Issei has emotions and then doesn't. It's an off and on thing. So yeah, that's how I'm making it. So and I don't know what else form. Like if there's like a king form, king ghoul form. I know Kaneki can basically take like hits from other Kagunes and not get hurt by them, because that's how strong he's became. So yeah, I mean that's what Issei's gonna be like too. But anyways, back to it. So Issei goes, wait, so my abilities that Kaneki have, and I would have gotten the same ones, are different now? Drake goes, yeah, kid. Basically, everything's different about you. You're no ordinary ghoul. You're no ordinary king, to become a one-eyed king ghoul. You're totally different. Basically, it's like a ghoul that became a dragon. Let's just say that. So, I'm the one-eyed ghoul king, or dragon king? It was, yeah, more the sense of that. And your Kagane will have a lot of different aspects in the future. Just to tell you that. And he's like, okay, is there anything that I need to know? He goes, yeah. Just be warned that will be able to summon out your Kagane from any part of your body. That's all I'm gonna say, kid. And he's like, what the freak? Alright, whatever. And it was like Drake was the gauntlet. Someone did ask about the color. Was it like red and purple? Yes. I want to check what that comment was saying, before so on. Okay. Parents talking, put on my freaking fan. Yeah, sorry about that. But anyways, the color scheme is just like red and like a little bit purple veins on it. So yeah. So that's why I was, keeping it. So basically, Kaneki does go, like, says in Issei said, he was like, wait, does that mean you're more powerful than me? Which Issei goes like, maybe? I don't know. Is that a bad thing? Kaneki goes, no, that's a good thing, actually. Your powers are different than mine. And, well, Issei does look at the mask. He was like, so how about I go and get a new mask? Because that's what he's looking at. He looks at the mask on the table, which has like nothing, just like symbols that says dragon on it. So he does say like, have I get a new mask with dragon teeth, dragon like teeth on it? And Issei, that's what Issei, says to Kaneki's head. He goes, not a bad idea. So yeah. So, Issei does not, Issei grabs the mask, just puts it on. People just think, he's just wearing it. Well, Issei just likes to wear the mask outside in public. So, that's gonna be his new mask, so I'm making it. So, this is like his just casual mask that he just wears. I mean, he walks outside his room after getting changed and all that. Azia walks out of her room. She goes, oh, Issei, is that a mask? He goes, yeah. What do you think of it? She said it looks nice on him. He was like, thanks. He does take it, like, bring it down off his face when he goes downstairs just to eat breakfast. His mom and dad just, say morning to them. They say morning. And so, oh yeah, I did forgot to mention something. Quick pause on the video. Quick pause on the what if story. I technically am gonna put him in a group. It's not gonna be, Reese's group. Well, it's not gonna be any devil group. Because I thought this would be very cool. I thought this would be very cool. Now, when I did say I was not gonna put him in like any fallen angels or angels, I'm not putting any angels. I want him to be. I just thought that's why I was taking so long with this video to make this. I was thinking, do I really want him to put with Azazel? Like what would be my purpose to do that? And then I was like, Okay, Azazel helps out Issei to improve on his boosted gear, helps him get stronger, gives him knowledge of other boosted gears and hell, heaven, angel weapons. He would have the power to defeat other devils that are stronger than him with holy weapons that then he can maybe even put into the boosted gear. That, well, along with the boosted gear was Kagune. So, holy boosted gear Kagune weapon sprouts out of his hand as a sword. Just a katana, and just like angel wings with one red eye, with his ghoul eye, basically. And I just thought, that would be so cool. So, yeah, that's my reasoning for this now. Yeah. Sorry if you guys wanted that, but, didn't want that. But some people I did see said that make him, be with, Azazel, what I thought they mean by, make him be like a fallen angel. So, yeah, that's my thing. Azazel, they say let him, be a fallen angel with Azazel, just group. So, yeah. So, yeah. And if you guys don't know, I have seen a lot of people say Rhaenyra being the ship, which was gonna be the ship. It was, anyways. I wanted to have this because, honestly, even though she killed Issei, I did kind of like her before she died, which was only in like the third episode, I think, second and third episode. So yeah. Anyways, let's get back into this. So Issei, eats his breakfast, tells his mom, he always loves her cooking. And she goes, yeah, Issei, I have a question to ask you, sweetie. He goes, yeah, Mom? She just says, you've been acting a little bit different lately. You don't have that much personality that you used to. He says, laughing a little bit more than laughing less, smiling less, being a little bit more depressed looking. She goes, yeah, is everything okay? He doesn't say nothing. Then all of a sudden, boom, Drake pops out. He goes, Issei, tell them. As his parents are going, Issei, what's that? What's happening? As he just sighs, and then before he can even do so, there's a knock on the door. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this. I did say in my first video, God, I know in the original, canon, in the actual anime, God died, but I said in this one, he faked his death. Meaning that this is a what if, and I just put that in there because I thought it would be more funny. So anyways, back to it. So, as Issei's, father goes down to the door, as Issei's mom just, looking at his, the gauntlet, it, is very similar to his hand. It's like his hand has become a full-on, gauntlet, an actual one. It has, a little, looks like it has, scales, metal on it, but then, it's still, red and purple looking, with the crystal being still green, and the fingers, are his actual fingers. As the, Issei's father comes back as, honey, God's at the door, and she's like, huh? As Issei goes, wait, God? Even Kaneki says, God? I know, he's not supposed to come here, but, huh? As then, Issei's dad goes, what should I do? She goes, let him in. And, he says, come in, God, and the old man just walks in. He's basically, tall, right hair, cane, just business suit outfit on, hat. He takes it off. He says, hello there, Mrs. and Mr. Huya. I am God. This is his actual look. He goes, wait, as he goes, wait, what happened to the short man that, he goes, that's a form that I like to hide in. Don't, Asuya, hello there. And she goes, hello. As, he says, please, sit down. Also, the principal of your school already knows you two will be coming in late. I sort of just told him. I basically used your mother's voice, and, sorry about that, Miss Tuya, to say that he's going to be running a little bit late, so please don't, mind him. As the principal was kindly enough to say, he will, excuse this only once. So, Issei, Ozzy already knows this, and I would like for you to tell your parents after I explain a couple of things. As they go, as he nods, and then so God says this: your son Issehudo died, and someone else died at that time in another reality slash dimension altogether. But if you wonder how do I know this, it's because I have been gone from this world, or should I say this dimension and reality altogether for many years after a war between fallen angels, and devils. Basically, I faked my own death at the end of it. In which Ozzy goes, so that means everyone thinks you're dead? Yes. I still hear the prayers of everyone. Do not worry. And thank you for always, praying for those praying for those who needed it, Azia. And she goes, but he goes, you are not. Foolish old men of ways that could not even comprehend. Of peace between ones of devils, angels, and fallen angels. That is something I would like to have. But, nevertheless, it cannot happen. The personalities always clash, so, as Ozia understands, and he goes, but it seems that you have become one yourself. That's good. Now, back to what I was saying. A boy, or should I say a man, named Ken Kaneki, in a different reality of Japan, where ghouls exist. As he tells you, say, your eye, please. As he closes his, both his eyes, and then one, as he opens them, they see the black and then the red and like the little veins, like the little black, cracks on his eye. And they go, what the? As he goes, that is a ghoul. Well, specifically, a one-eye ghoul, a rare one. Not too many out there. To ghouls, they're delicious. To humans that are called doves, they are still ghouls and they should kill. But Kaneki is a different type of ghoul. He became the one-eyed king amongst them, a leader, the ruler. He died to protect the ghouls that were given a serum to not eat humans no more. They could eat regular food and survive, have it changed to become nutrients for them. And so, when Kaneki died, while killing all these humans who were trying to kill his family, friends, and that's a helicopter, everyone, and other humans called doves that were trying to save them because they thought ghouls in the society of humans could be a good thing now, because depending, like, their strength-wise, is unknownly to them and to regular civilians, but to the doves, the ghoul's strength is stronger than them, so powerful that it could kill you in one shot. The more stronger ghouls. Even some ghouls' aging is technically slow sometimes. As Issei's parents are nodding, and so he died, Ken Kaneki died, protect his family, which was also his people that he ruled, and his wife and child, and his soul came here to save Kaneki, to basically Kaneki to save Issei's life from a fallen angel, which is the most funniest thing, because somebody leaked information on what type of power he held, as he points to the gauntlet. As then he says, and that is called the Red Dragon, Drake, or known as the Welsh Dragon. The dragon that can imbue its user with power by boosting. So, as another name for it, the boosted gear. And so, it can even give power away to people. So, Issei, would you like to tell your parents anything? And he goes, yeah, I unlocked this not too long after I died. as he points to Drake and saying my emotions are also technically going away because of the way I look. I kind of have the hair and somewhat of the look like Kaneki a little bit. As God does that, yes, his emotions are not sealed, but being suppressed. He has basically forms. There's a Reaper form, also known as real Kaneki, the real version of him. There'll be Issei will still keep the white hair, but when he's having his full on emotions, that's the Reaper form, where he will act on and harm whoever makes him angry, say what he really wants to say instead of just listening. Second is this form. The somewhat emotionless boy that we see here today. Third, this is going to his Kagune, would have been a centipede, two centipede looking like Kagunes, and just like two regular ones, which he actually said to get up and crack his finger. As his mom goes, what? What? As he basically used his thumb to crack one of his fingers, which all four of his Kagunes come out, which his parents are like, what the? And he does say, and the boosted gear has adapted to this change in his body. That's why it looks so fitting on his arm, like it actually is, because that is his arm. The Kagune had basically infused the boosted gear to become like it. So, technically, Issei is the Welsh Dragon Emperor, or the Red Dragon Emperor, but more specifically, the Red Dragon Ghoul Emperor, in which, as then God does say about his eye, would also change the stronger he gets. His eye will become, different. And when he activates his eye, it'll start to glow, have immediate power coming off of it, and that when you'll know he has become the king of ghouls, the one-eyed king. That means his strength, his durability, everything about him will be stronger than anyone else. So, that is who Issei is now. And I thought it would be about time he told you. But to a better understanding, I need to tell you this. Please note that this is still your son. He is not. As an Issei's mom just goes over and hugs him and he goes like, "Where did you die? How did you die?" And he just points to his chest and she goes like, "But how?" As Issei just says, regeneration. As God says, actually, I did technically use some of my power to make sure his body was a little bit, when the souls collided together, his heart became like a ghoul. He didn't have no organs like one, but the lungs of a ghoul. So, yeah. I made sure that this process would have healed him too. So don't worry, Miss Hudo. Your son is quite alright. Just know this. If he was a ghoul, he would have had to eat people. And I do not think he would have enjoyed that. Nor would you if you found out. That is why I made sure this boy would not turn to become like that. As, she says, "Thank you for saving my son." He goes, No. I do not need the thanks. It's because he was supposed to become a devil. Saved by Rias Gremory herself. But that piece of paper he threw away, that would have saved him, was the reason why I had this happen. I needed him to fulfill the future I saw. To where he became the king of the underworld. As everyone's in shock as Issei goes, "What? Why? Why me? Why would I become king? He goes, because you're the strongest. You were a devil. And you brought peace to angels and fallen angels. And to devils. Basically, all of them coexisting in harmony. That is why I wanted you to come back, Issei Hudo. No, not wanted. It's what you deserved, to come back and live a life again. So, that's my reasoning for everything I did. As he puts on his hat, he says, if I do not leave soon, the angels will find me and try me to come back into heaven and rule it. There are too many worlds out there for me to, be always in. So, goodbye, everyone. Oh, and Azia, if anyone ever tells you... Actually, no. As he walks over and touches Azia's head, as if a light, comes off of her, he goes, there, if anyone says you are a heretic, or, hell, calls you anything else that is not true about you, this will remind you of everyone that you've ever met, the people that you have helped. But just know this, the person that, you helped and saved that made you become, well, what happened to you, used you. I'm sorry, my child, but this happened. This is true, I saw it. His plan, his evil deed. But when you see him again, have Issei there. And my boy Issei. Make sure you keep your friends safe. As he nods, as always, I will not let nothing happen to my friends. Oh, and be sure to, not to use the Welsh dragon, the form of it, Juggernaut Drive. Use your Kagune, the weapon, the boosted gear to boost everything about you. Get strong enough to boost over 1,000 times. That will help you out, Issei Hudo. As he nods, and God snaps his fingers and disappears in a blinding light. Issei father walks up to him and goes, is this true, Issei? Is everything what God says true? He does nod, and, well, he goes, so you've been keeping this from us all this time, ever since that date with that girl over there? Did she... He goes, yeah, look, I hate her, but at the same time I can't. I don't know why, if she's been there for 4 months. She could have done something. But every time she looked at me during those 4 months, it was like she was just staring at me and blushing, and I don't know why, but then when she had asked me out, even on the date, it was off-putting. Like, she always looked upset when I was looking away, like she was... How can I say this? As Issei's father says, like she was going to regret what she did. He goes, yeah. As Issei's father and Issei's mother just tell him just to find the truth. If she really did like you and she didn't want to do it, then she can't be blamed. But if she did want to, then get her out of your life. Or just tell her to stay out of there. You'll do something. I don't know. Issei's father says, and Mom. And he nods. He just says, thanks, Mom and Dad. They hug him and say, we are always your parents. And, he did have his Kagune out. He puts it away. Drake, he's hugging while his arm is, with the boosted gear out. As Drake says, Issei, we're gonna be late for school. And he goes, right. As the balance breaker goes away. And he says, love you guys. As, they, walk out. He puts on the mask. And his parents are just... They're upset that he died, but they're happy he's alive. So, yeah. So, while they're walking over, Asya just says, well, that was very tense and awkward. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it took 15 minutes of that explanation. Or even longer. Come on, we're gonna be late. She was, yep. As while they're, trying to get there very quickly at this school, he hears a familiar voice just saying, Issei, wait up! As it's even Asya hears it. As, they look, they see Renair in a human form. She goes, hi! As Asya goes, Renair, why are you? As, Issei's eye glows red as she goes, whoa, 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 Issei, come on, please. I'm only here for, on good terms. I'm not here to cause any problems. I promise. Remember we talked last night? And you goes, sorry, just not a good time to pop up out of nowhere like that, Renair. He goes, I know. I forgot I had school today. He goes, wait, you're coming back after all these months? Like, after a month of being gone? She goes, yeah. I actually did take a month off because of the place I'm living at, actually. As she kind of, does say it was actually a good friend of hers went into the hospital. That's not a fallen angel, that she became friends while she was, well, in her human form. She actually lives in a house nearby to Issei's, and it was her neighbor that lives alone that she goes by, helps out every once in a while, was in the hospital. And while she was a fallen angel, what she did and what happened between her, Asya, and him was all at the time where she was taking care of him. So that's why she technically wanted the Twilight, her sacred gear power to try to heal him. As Asya said, you could just ask. He goes, well, it's not that good when you're ordered to try to take it by your boss. As she goes, who? As she goes, well, I mean, he's not my real boss. He's my boss's subordinate that I am under. So, yeah, my real boss's name is Hazel, and the person I work for is called Coco Bill. So, yeah, he ordered me to try to take your power, Asya, and I'm really sorry. She does say, I really did want to be your friend, but work situation doesn't allow you to be friends with people when you kidnap or try to use their power for yourself. As, well, Asya just says, that's, quite alright. So, while you're in school, he goes, oh, my real boss, Azazel, said to me, I don't know why. He just told me to be a part of, school again. And I did miss seeing my friends, so, come on, let's go. As Issei goes, yeah. As Asya looks at him, and, basically she's just standing there as Renair and him just talking, and for some reason, a thought came into Asya's head, and he said, they look cute together. As she then shakes, he goes, no, do I even like Issei? I mean, I like him as a friend, but do I like him? Probably not. I'll figure it out, So she catches up to them, and they get to school. Renair is gonna be in Issei's class along with Asya. Said, her class got a new person in, and they forgot about it, so, they had this another seat open. So Renair is going to be part of the class. So, Asya introduces herself and saying that, she's transferred over to here from nurse school and overseas, and basically her, she actually has a place to live, and it's with, Issei's parents were kind enough to let me in, take me in and everything. And so she, says she's living with Issei, as everyone is like, what? In his classroom, and his best friends go like, oh, come on, man! Like, how you kind of take, get a kid in your house? And Issei goes, we're just friends. As, he just said it very bluntly, as his friends go like, what? You mean you're just friends with her? You're not, dating? Or, he goes, as then Issei goes, teacher, he just says, the teacher just says, what are you gonna do? He goes, flick them on the forehead, please. Because I know what they're about to say, and I don't want to freaking hear it. As he goes, sure. As he says, just flicks one guy on the forehead, the one with the glasses, and then the other guy without the glasses goes like, as then he flicks him and it sends him flying, and they hit them both at the ground. They both hit the ground, stumble, and then hit themselves into the faces into the wall. As then as Renier just kind of chuckles at this, as all the guys look at him immediately, as he goes, "What you guys want to have the same thing happen to you?" That's all the guys look away from him. All the girls are just thinking, what's going on? So, the teacher says they have a free period just to talk to Azia, get her to know the class a little bit more. And yeah, that's what happens. And then the girls in his class just say about how, we'll be careful around him. They're, he make sure he doesn't have any hidden cameras or recorders, like video cameras basically to record anything anywhere around the house. And so Issei gets annoyed by this, and then Ozzy says he doesn't. And how do you know? He goes, I saw his room. And he goes, and then one girl goes, what type of perverted stuff does he have in there? And she goes, Ozzy just says, games, books, and models of cars and jets. And they go, oh, what type of books he has? He goes, oh, some are about karate, others are about how to fix or repair a model. Another one was about Shakespeare, and basically one was about Kung Fu. Even had to fix a computer model and a gaming guide, which was some of them. And the games were just, as I saw, was like just some type of like random games, in which all the girls which she just listed off as they're not what they thought they were. There's like regular like shooter games, fighting games. As the girl's going like, what the? I thought, as in she goes, don't associate him like he's like his two friends. He just gets dragged along with them. As they look at Issei, he's just reading a book. He has his glasses on. As they see, it's a poetry book. As they all of a sudden they feel really crappy for not seeing the difference between him and his friends, and they were judgy. And so, but then one was on the kendo team. And he goes, so what about him and his friends? When they peek on the kendo team, in which Azia just looks at him, and then he goes, I'm always dragged everywhere by them. I couldn't to do that. In which I always, don't like to be. I technically just read my book. Does everyone never see me reading a book when I'm there? Like, legit. When they run, I'm just there reading a book. And technically, the kendo team area has a really good lighting, so hey, I don't really mind, as they just kind of feel even more. The girl on the kendo team now knows that remembers Issei technically was reading a book, and he feels even more. Well, she feels even more bad for that. And so, some day goes on. And Azia says she'll be, at the club today, so does she mind waiting? He goes, not at all. I'll basically be in the woods reading a book, or just training. She goes, alright. So yeah, so that's what he does. So what happens with, when Azia gets there, and she has to go to a place during the night, Issei says he'll, basically come with to make sure nothing happens. Which, Rias did tell Azia to tell him that he had to go because, well, that's technically her, he's her guardian. He's capable of. But he does say, though, before we go, I have to make a quick pit stop, alright? I was like, where? As in, he's in, the occult office where everyone's there. As Rias goes, where you mean, where are you going, Issei? He goes like, oh, another reality. As he goes, huh? As then he just thinks of Kaneki's world and then Yuta's shop. As a portal opens out of nowhere, he goes, "Be back." And he just jumps right through it. And so it closes as Asuya, Koneko, Akano, and Rias are in shock. Kiba's not there. As they, all four of those girls are going what the? Hold on. Alright, so, as I was saying, like, everyone's shocked. Rias just goes like, what? You know, like I said, Rias went like, what the? As Nakano just says, well, there's a lot to this boy that we do not know. Huh, Rias? As she goes, yes. So, when, Issa gets into Yuta's shop, because that's where the portal opens, Yuta was working on a mask, which was for not Kaneki, for Issei. As he heard the portal open, he gets out from the back and he sees it, and he sees basically Issei coming out. As he goes, yo, Yuta, there you are. Yuta goes, oh, Issei, you for a new mask? Issei goes, yeah, thanks for this one. This has just been mostly my casual one, and plus I've been kind of helping out people, so I kind of like a different one in my world, like, being a vigilante, like a superhero. As he goes, yes, alright, um, it's a good thing you came, because I, did made one for you, actually. He goes, wait, really? He goes, yeah, I've been thinking about it, well, for some reason, the whole entire word dragon popped in my head when looking at you. And so I thought making a mask based with, like a dragon. Not a, full on one, because I seem like you like the look of Kaneki's, mask with the patch and, like, the way the picture looks right now. So without the, mouth on. So yeah. So basically it says, I take the base of that, but instead of putting human teeth, I put the teeth of a dragon on it. And so I've made it. I've been making this ever since the last time you came. Multiple design tests and sketches later, I'm almost done. Just, wait a couple minutes and, you get to see it. As he goes, alright, so, like Yuta says, after a couple minutes later, he comes out with a mask. So basically, it's the same thing, but with, like, dragon-like teeth. For, instead of the human teeth, it's dragon teeth. And then he does say, and then it does have, like, a little bit of, like, a scale in around the mouth of the, teeth, and there, around that, where the teeth are, there's a scale coming around it. As he goes, how were you able to make it look like scales were around this? He goes, well, actually, it's just a little bit, design into the material. I did make it look like I cut it a little bit, but it was just really, I just kind of shaved off some pieces. So that was the part that was taking me the most time to work on. I haven't been working on this for about a month or so. So you're, welcome. And he goes, and you're okay with just making this for free for me? He goes, mm-hmm. Actually, yeah. I mean, that was just that was just something I was working on. Just in case, and like I know, your body, well, your money from this world won't, doesn't exist, and you don't live here, so I can't really charge you. But let's just say it's a free mask, and that I would just, prefer to, to always come back and talk. He goes, alright. By the way, I forgot to mention, I'm making this little video, like, really long. Hold on. Alright, so, as not Kaneki, but Issei goes, oh, yeah, hey, do you know where Kaneki's grave is? He goes, what? Well, he goes, well, I want to see if I can revive his body. As in, before Yuta could even say anything, as a man appears, walking through it. It's basically like the same looking man that I said in the very first video with Kaneki. As he goes, yo, Issei, what's up? And he goes, God? He goes, yeah, what's up, man? He goes, wait, how many forms do you have? He goes, like, in every single reality, I always have a form. Come on, we're going. He's like, going where? Kaneki, we're going to his grave. Come on, I saw that look when I saw you this morning. So come on, we're going. I got everything prepared. As he goes, what the? And he goes, Yuta, you come too. He's like, okay. So, when they leave Yuta's place, all of a sudden they're at the grave. It's like, and Issei and Yuta are going like, okay, what the freak? We're just outside the shop and now we're here. As it's right in front of Ken Kaneki's grave. As, well, snapping fingers, body's revived, looking like it's alive and all, and now it just needs a soul. As then he goes, I have a feeling you wouldn't like to have Kaneki around though, around forever. So I've been working on something. So yeah, as he basically touches Issei's head, and he just moves his hand very slowly as a little ball of light is coming out. This is Kaneki's soul, as in he basically moves it all the way to his body and puts it, slowly moves his hand towards Kaneki's chest to where the soul goes back into it. As now he just says a little bit of a chant. At the end of it, he does say, "Revive now and be reborn, Ken Kaneki." As in a flash of blinding light comes out of nowhere, and yeah, Ken Kaneki is back. And he goes, I'm back, God." And Issei, and then he looks at Issei and goes, "Issei, I still needed to help you." As God says, "Don't worry, you're still gonna be able to see each other. You just have to, well, travel to one another's dimension. So you'll be able to, train. But this time physically. Not like, mentally. But he still has some of your traits, Kaneki. So as then Issei, goes, "Yeah, I still feel like I'm me and not me exactly at the same time." Which God does tell him, "Yep, so you two can see each other now. Kaneki, your family has been told that you will be revived by this such time, and they're coming over. So farewell, and Issei, you better get out of here. Peace." As flash of light again disappears, as Issei says, "See you around, Kaneki." Or should I say, "See you later?" Which Kaneki does stretch out his hand, and they both shake hands. He goes, "If you ever need me, just think about this and, find me." As then he goes, "Yeah, but as soon as he says that, but his phone, has a new notification saying number has been added. And Kaneki, for some reason, has a phone in his pocket saying number has been added. As it says Issei Hudo and Ken Kaneki. And then a message pop up on both of their phones saying, "Oh, yeah, I basically have your phones now to have an interdimensional call in between with one another, so that way you can talk to one another, basically." And, you get in contact with anything problem. So, you guys are welcome. As Issei goes, "Well, that's one way to keep in contact." Kaneki laughs at this. And so Issei thinks about his world, but in basically the office of the Cold Club, and jumps right through as when it opens. And Yuta does say, "Well, Kaneki, he acts like you in so many ways now. Well, he acts like you since the first time I met him. And now, it seems like he's like you when you were with black hair. Before the whole entire change into the white." And then he goes, "Yeah, I know." As then Kaneki's, wife and child are at the gate, along with the Dove detective that he fought at the end of season 2. That I thought he died, but in this one I just kept him alive. So yeah, he's there. As then he goes, "Kaneki," as his wife's, just tearing up as even their kid. And so he, there's that little scene with all of them, like his child and him hugging along with his wife. That little scene. So back to Issei. He pops in. He has a new mask. He puts it on. It still had the eye patch, basically. And he goes, "Come on, let's go." She asks, "Why did you put it on?" He was like, "I want to see how it feels. It feels pretty good." So, he takes it off though. He just puts it in his bag. And then he takes Azia to, her the location to be summoned. So yeah, so that happens. He just stays there. They go back all the way after it was done. They go back all the way to the area, and yeah, and so there's these, basically she congratulates Azia on her first, her first contract summon. and fulfilling it. She goes, "Thank you." As well, Isaac just laughs at this, a little bit. Which she goes, "What?" He goes, "Well, well, I'm just surprised about you, Rias Cremery." He does have like a little bit of hatred from this morning about this, and Ozzy was afraid of this, but the personality of Colin Keith's like a part of him, so he just says, "I never suspected you to be so nice." And she goes, "What do you mean nice?" He goes, "Well, there's always that aura that you have a stuck-up attitude, so you know." Just I've never been insulted in my whole entire life. He just laughs at this. He goes, "Why? Does the Grumry family have that much power?" That she goes, "Yes." And then Issa goes, "Then I bet your name is more than who you are." And then all of a sudden she's quiet. And he goes, "I have a feeling that there's more to you than meets the eye, Grimmery. So, let me ask you a question. Are you in something that you do not want to be a part of?" As her eyes widen, and he goes, "Bingo. Alright, I got you. I won't, pressure anymore. But I know now." As Azia doesn't know what's going on, as she goes, "How did you goes, look, I read enough books to tell when a powerful name's there must be even more powerful people than you. So, yeah, figure as much." As he just walks away, Azia goes with, and Akano walks in past Issei, and she goes, "Well, that was, I mean," she goes, "Well, what happened here?" As Rias just says, "He found out about my arranged marriage, and, well, he's smarter than I thought." And yeah, so right when they exit the cult club, she goes, as he hears the name Issei, as he looks into an air, he goes, "Why are you here in air?" She goes, "Oh, I can't see my favorite person." And he goes, "Is that why you shot me in between my heart and my lungs?" She goes, she pouts, and he goes, "You have to say it like that." He kind of just laughs at this. He goes, "Yes." She goes, "Fun sometimes." He goes, "Whatever. So how did it feel to be back in class today?" She goes, "Good, especially since I was in your class." He goes like, "Yeah, I don't think you should be happy about that." As he remembers her, he basically a little flashback. He sees her just looking at him. Her face is a little red too, and it's like, seriously, again? So he just doesn't want to ask the question, but she goes, "Can we go on a date? A natural one this time. No strings attached. No, like, assignment to kill you or anything. I promise." As Azia says, "You shouldn't, you know." He goes, "Okay. When?" She goes, "Tomorrow night?" He basically pondering this, and he goes, "Alright, sure. Tomorrow night. What time? 5:30, 5-ish?" She goes, "We meet up at 4:30. We, have dinner at 5. We stay out till 8 after you drop me off at home, and, you go home." He goes, "Alright, fine. Don't mind that." She goes, "Great." And, she does run over and hug him, and she didn't realize this. She did this on impulse, and Ozzy is, like, shocked. Even, like, Issei's just kind of, like, looking at her, like, wondering, how did this happen? And then, her face is all red. She goes, "I'm sorry, son, I'm sorry." She runs off, and it's like, is she a tsundere? I mean, I know what anime terms are. He says that, basically to Azia. He goes, "I just don't watch much of it." She goes, "What's a tsundere?" He goes, "Okay, pretend this. A girl who would basically hit you, you know, after she compliments you, but you couldn't hear it because she said it underneath her breath, and then she goes, 'I didn't call you nothing, baka,' after, before she hits you. And then she acts like, she's not into you, which she is." She goes, "Oh." And then he says, "I think I said that the right way." I don't really know for sure. So, yeah. So, after that, they head home. And let's just say the whole entire of her going back into the occult club with Issei there because, well, he knows that she's safe there, but it's like he was asked by Rias to protect her at all times, just protect her in general, and it'd be easier. Even God said to protect your friends, so yeah. So if anything happens to Azia, he's right there, and plus he can take a hit better than, Azia. Basically, he can actually take a hit from the gut and then rip it out and heal from it after basically a couple minutes because his fast healing. And plus, along with the boosted gear, it would boost that too. So, yeah. So basically, he meets Sonya's Paraj, Tsubaki, and get Gun. Yeah, Genshiro, and the student council members. And so Genshiro tries to put the moves on Azia, and then Issei steps puts his hand, before he came and try to grab her hand or anything. He goes, "Hey, um, you know, back off, my friend," because he could look at before when he was trying to put the moves on her, Genshiro. She was a little bit nervous because it's she's still in that phase where she gets nervous, a little bit shy as well. He goes, "Hey man, why you?" He goes, "Look, if you don't notice this, but when she meets new people, she's a little bit shy around. So yeah, just don't try to do that when she's not used to you." As he looks at Azia and then he goes "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." I go, as he then thinks I'm such a jerk. And Azia says, "It's all right. You didn't know. It's because of how I was treated back before when I was human. That's why." As he was still, I really am sorry. As he bows and says, "Please, forgive me." And she goes, "It's all right." And Genshiro looks at Issei and goes "So, what's your?" He goes, "We're just friends." All right, that's it. He goes, "Wait, you're not?" He goes, "No. I mean, seriously. She's a devil. I'm a ghoul." Well, he goes, "Wait, a ghoul? You're not a devil too?" He was like, "No. I mean, I'm just here because, well, one, I was asked to protect her from Rias Gremory, and she's my friend, so I'm willing to do it." So yeah, as he goes, "Oh, all right. Sorry about accusing you, for trying to get my way. You know, he goes, yeah, it's no problem." So, then the whole entire thing with the whole entire, tennis thing happened with Rias and Akano along with Sonya Tsubaki. And, well, what happens after, during this, Issei just says, "This is getting pretty heated, huh?" Kaneko and Kiba said, "Yeah." And then, Renair comes over and says, "Hi there, Issei. Are you... Whoa, that's getting pretty heated." He was like, "I know. Who wants to stop it?" No one says anything. He goes, "Guess I am." As he just jumps from where he was, he jumps so high, he's able to go all the way over the fence because he's on that little area where there's a slope going down and right to the tennis field. Grass going the ground goes down slope. So basically, he's on that part. He just jumps off. Everyone sees it, besides Rias, Akano, Sonya, Tsubaki. Over it, he walks over to when they're playing, as then when Sonya throws the ball, hits the ball with the tennis racket, is going right towards Rias, and she's about, gonna try to hit it. As then all of a sudden, she just sees a hand just catching the ball as it still spins, and he's just holding it as there's a little burn off little smoke coming off of him, and he goes, "Hey, this could have been dangerous if anything happens. You know that, right?" And they just looking at him. He goes "I don't care what was the reason why, but if the ball's able to spin that fast and make that much smoke coming off of my hand now, what happens if you would have hit somebody and what would happen to them? As they all four of the girls realize this, and he goes, "Yeah, that's what I thought." The guys are looking at him like booing him, as he just gives them a death glare when he looks at them. As they all just like shut it, which then most all the girls there just blush, as Renair does too. And Konako says, "I hate to admit this," as Kiba and Kiba and Renair look at her as her face is blushing. He goes, "That does though look totally," as Renair goes, "I know, right?" As yeah, so he just drops the ball and just jumps over, like does a back, like he where he is, his back is towards the fence, so he just jumps backwards and does a backflip over it, and then lands perfectly, like it was nothing. Which everyone is shocked by that, and he just walking away. Rainier says, "Wait for me, Issei." Even Azia does, as well. Everyone, everyone's just looking at him, and so yeah. So during that night, though, they have like a rematch, and well, it's a dodgeball. So he basically asks like Azia to oh, no, he doesn't ask Ozzy. He asks basically Rias and Akino if they could bring Azia home. So they agree, and yeah, he gets ready for his date with Renair. When he gets home, it's basically white long sleeve shirt, white shirt, black vest, black pants, and just some regular black shoes. He's not wearing no tie, but he is wearing his glasses. And so, he goes down, he says bye to his mom and dad. His mom was just saying, like, again, a date? He goes, yeah, same girl. They're like, oh, okay. Is she? Nope. Hopefully not. But Echo is just, as he pops out his Kagune, and they go, like, true. His shirt is not tucked in, because he does not want it to ruin his shirt. He doesn't. So, like, it won't. So, yeah. So basically, he meets her up with her. Um, it was just basically on the way back home. He not meet. He doesn't meet up. He picks her up at her house. She told him the address, and she's like, "Oh, Issa, you're home. You're here." He goes, "Yeah." As he sees her, she's in a. Oh, she has a white coat with a black shirt, black pant. Some nice black pants. No, 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 no. White jacket. Well, these are just like it's just supposed to be like a casual date, not like a fancy one. This is technically Issei's clothing. This is what he wears. For some weird reason, he wears this. He feels a little bit more comfortable in it. Which this is like his outside clothing, what he'll wear. So yeah, Shishio, as Renair looks at him, basically, okay, now Renair's wearing a white jacket, blue shirt, blue jeans, and just some regular shoes. Because when she looks at him, she's like just thinking, "Oh my god, like I thought we were just going on a normal, date." As she goes, "Is this your, a little bit too much to wear on a date?" He was like, "Oh, sorry, it's this is my normal clothing I wear sometimes now. I mean, I still got some regular shirts, but this is like my going out and on a date kind of wear." And she goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah. So, you ready?" She goes, "Yep." And she locks the house, and they go. So they go to a restaurant that's nearby. They talk and chat. They even go to the bookstore, as he gets a book. Even does Renair. And so it's they're just having a lot of fun. On this during this time though, let's just say this. Somebody there was a rumor about Issei and her went on a date one time, and then they may be going on a date again. There was a guy that liked Renera like a lot. Like he got jealous enough to he's gonna try to kill Issei. So yeah, but but Renera does say, Issei, there's I heard a rumor about this guy that I had a crush on me, or should I say does. He's a little bit obsessed with me, you could say. And he goes, how obsessed? Like yandere obsessed? Like yandere obsessed with you? Like he'll try to kill me? She goes, yeah. He goes, oh. Well, don't worry. It's not like it's gonna happen. Not really much can kill me. Bullets can't, knives can't. Only a other cognate could. Well, it does doves have, but it's not like this world has any. He's just chuckling, and she does say, "Do you really not show much, any emotions around others?" He goes, "I can, but it's not a lot. I don't know why. It seems like I can with you for some weird reason." She goes, "I'm happy about that." And so, they go see a movie, and they enjoyed it. The guy that was gonna kill Issei, well, try to kill him, is the guy that's obsessed with, Renair. And so, excuse me. And so, basically, what happens is, when outside the movies, the guy, does have like a gun, and he, you know, just pulls out. Everyone sees it, screams as, you know, Issei, turns around, and he's about to, go in and try to hit the guy. But that's when the guy pulls the trigger. Renera gets in the way, and she gets shot in the stomach. Well, he gets in the stomach, in which the guy was like, "What the? What? Why?" And Issei is like shocked by this, and so Issei is a little, kind of was a little bit taller, so you know, it when it, but it does hurt in the stomach still, and she goes, basically she no, she just basically like winces in pain, and she asks, "Are you okay?" Because when the guy pulled the gun out, she saw it, and she was having flashbacks of what she did, and unknowns to Issei, she cried that whole entire night. Because yeah, making Rhaenyra had a really good crush on Issei. Like she really was dating him, like wanted to date him. But because of the whole entire Cocoa Bill stuff, I'm making it order it. Yeah, she had no choice. So, anyways, so the guy goes, Rhaenyra, why? Why did you? As Issei just disappears in front of his eyes, as Drake didn't boost, but he did say, punch him only once. Send him the message. And so, Issei punches the guy in the stomach, sending him flying all the way into a wall, which craters it a little, and he looks at Rhaenyra. He runs over to her. He basically picks her up, and he just starts dashing towards the nearest hospital. In which Rhaenyra, while he's running, she does say there's no point. I mean, I'm in my human form, so normal bullets won't work on me, but I'm in my human form, so my powers aren't limited. He goes, and transforming, she goes, can't. I mean, I'm wounded. If I transform into my angel form, there may be a problem with my fallen angel. He goes, what? So she just says, just turn this corner, let's go to the, back to where where everything happened. And he does. He just goes there. Basically, he puts her on the bench, and she just like saying, "Hi, I remember this. This is where I want to confess my love to you, truly." And she goes, "What?" She goes, "Of course. I mean, why do you think I asked you out? I really did genuinely like you," Issei. You know, she just starts revealing the truth because she thinks she's gonna die. Only Azazel could heal her form now. Um, or Twilight healing could. But yeah, so what happens is Issei, she looks at Issei and she just starts crying, and he goes, "But why then?" She goes, "Orders." I can't disobey them, or I would die if I did. And he goes, is there any way I can save you? Anyway, anyhow, please, tell me. There. He's like crying. As she says, only Azazel could, or my boss Coco Bill. Coco Bill doesn't really care much, so Azazel might. And he goes, where is he? I'll find him. And she goes, you won't find him. You don't even know what he looks like. It's just, it just looks like this is gonna be the. As in, they hear, well, Renair. Looks like you're in a tough pickle, huh? As Issa looks, and he sees this guy with black hair and a little bit of blonde in the front. As Renair's eyes widen, as Issa's eye turns right into the ghoul, and the balance breaker, and his boosted gear comes out, and he goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Azazel, kid. And it looks like you have a very interesting power on you. You're nor devil, fallen angel, or angel. What are you exactly?" He goes, "I'm a ghoul. A very, well, the only one around here." And, well, Azazel's interested. He goes, "Well, alright, that's very interesting. So, I'm gonna make you a little deal, alright? This one does not require you to do anything. You'll just become a fallen angel, and you'll work for me, but you'll be able to do whatever you want. No strings attached, kid. Just you just have to listen to whatever I call you, and that's all. Just listen to my orders. You can refuse them too. Depends on what it is, because, well, you have your own free will. And I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do, so, yeah." He goes, "You promise you'll heal her?" And he goes, "Yes. Besides, I can't let one of my subordinates die. She's very, I mean, what am I, heartless? Not like Cocobille. I mean, if I don't see any value in somebody, I get rid of them. Well, more like when they die, I don't care, but, well, let's just say, a long time ago, I had a feeling Renair was gonna be useful in a lot of things that are mission based, strategy wise, combat wise, and she was, but she also did have a heart. Sometimes she didn't want to show it, but she had a heart. And we're fallen angels aren't known for being good, we're technically evil. But some of us do have a heart, like me. I like to collect and knowledge. So, yeah. Anyways, he walks over to Issei and Renair, and he goes, "So, kid, is it," as he basically had his hand out, but Issei just grabbed it right away and shook it and he goes, "It's a deal." With no hesitation, both Renair and, like, Colt and Azazel were shocked. As he just says, "Alright, kid." As he snaps his fingers, as basically Renair's has a glow right around her and she's healed. As Issei goes, "So, how do I become a fallen angel then?" And he goes, "Oh, just like a playing card." As he basically holds up a one. He goes, "I never had a ace. I mean, not ace. I never had a joker, so he just gives it to Issei." He goes, "This is the very first joker I ever had, because it seems like you're gonna be a very, very powerful one, and this joker card is basically a whole bunch of joker cards mashed up into one, 8 to be precise." As he basically already put it on Issei as he's absorbing it, as Issei's basically like done screaming out in pain, but Drake going, "Issei," he goes, "It doesn't," he says, "I'm alright, Drake." As all of a sudden, like, the balance, I mean, not the balance breaker, the boosted gear starts to glow, as it's like the powers of Issei is increasing exponentially, which Azazel and Renair is shot by. As then when it subsides, there's like a weird glow around Issei for a few minutes, and then it stops. He looks up, and his eye, it's it's a little bit more brighter now, but still the same. As he goes, well, kid, that's amazing. Just to let you know, the whole entire, I had to basically kind of sealed off most of those 8 cards that I've fused together. So basically, your power will increase the more you get stronger. All right. I don't want you to die on me. I mean, well, you already technically did die, but whatever. He goes, yeah. So what do I have to do? Boss. He goes, oh, nothing much. Just keep an eye on the Rias girl, and if you see a guy, like him appear as he shows a picture of Razor, he goes, then contact me right away and give him a good punch in the face or stomach for me. All right. Well. Let's just say a good friend of mine is that's his sister. He's supposed to be married to. She's gonna be marrying, and he's not very. I don't like the guy, and I don't want him to, well, have his sister go through the process of being with him, who doesn't even care about him, just her name. So, you know, just fight him. That's all I want you to do, and then after that, I'll give you next whatever mission I want you to go on for me. All right? As Issei nods, he goes, but what happens if you don't have a mission? He goes, oh, then you live to live your life for a while, as long as as long as I don't have any missions for you. Also, you are in high school, right? He goes, yeah. First year, second year, third? He goes, first year? I was, oh, well, um, then when you're graduated, there's going to be a whole bunch of missions for you. He was like, what? It was, well, technically, I mean, you're going to be helping me out with stuff, so, yeah. Also, it looks like you're, like, pretty, getting, like, close to Renair, huh? As Issei blushes a little, and Renair goes, Issei, you, as, he just says, as Drake just says, oh my god, kid, you have a crush on her for crying out loud. Just, as Renair's face blushes, he goes, Drake, he goes, what? It's the truth. If you would have never acted that way if if you didn't like her, so just ask her out to be your girlfriend. He goes, fine. So he does, and she says yes. She hugs him, and, she's just happy. And she does ask about Coco Bill if he will ever find out about Issei, because he only remembered the look that he had before. But if you ever do find him, hold on, everyone. Alright, I'm back, everyone. Just had to get my dinner. But anyways, so yeah, so Renair and him. No. I was at the part where he says, "Oh yeah, well, if you ever meet Coco Bill, Issei, I mean kid," which he goes, "It's Issei." No. Since Renair said, he'll say, "All right, Issei, or Dragon Boy." If you ever see Coco Bill, you have my permission to, well, rip off his wings or kill him. Well, nearly kill him. All right. Use whatever you got to do it. He's strong. Also, I need to assess your strength later. So, yeah. See you around, kid. As he just walks away. And, well, just Renair's just hugging him, and now, like, she's starting crying again, and there's actually, he just holds her, and she just keeps on crying. Saying, like, I thought you were gonna die. I thought I was not gonna be with you. I mean, I'm just so glad I got to, be alive again. And, well, yeah, I know you're gonna say this isn't gonna, that's not, like, fallen angels can't die like that. Well, guess what? This is technically a what if, and I needed to have this little scene to happen so that way I could have Issei become a fallen angel. So, yeah, but anyways, let's go back into it. So, after that little crying for a little bit, he takes her home. She kisses him goodnight, and he kisses her back though, which her face is blushing. He gets home. Ozzy says, "So, how was the date?" He goes, "Well, we're dating now, so, and his parents go like, "Really?" Even though she goes, I know, she shot me in my heart with a light spear, just because of orders. Yeah, she did have a crush on me." and she was ordered to kill me, which she hated it. So yeah, I'm dating her now, mom and dad, and they're just happy. And even though he says technically though that's her human form, she looks like a teenager, but she's a little bit older than that. But whatever, he says that in his head, and Drake laughs at this. So he walks into his room, and Asya did sense something different about him, and so he just wants to go in his room for a little bit, just to kind of think it over and tell them what happened. So Asya comes over and says, "Issei, what's wrong with you now?" He goes, "Something happened on the date." She goes, "Did Renee?" He goes, "No, someone tried to shoot me. Renee got in the way. She took the bullet, and I tried to rush her to the hospital, but it wouldn't have worked on her. So, I took her to the park, and she wanted to be there, basically. And so, what happened is, the bullet was right at her stomach line, like above, a little bit under the rib cage. So, yeah. And basically, she was gonna die. And a man called Zazel came and saved her. But there's a deal. And so, hold on. And so Ozzy asks, "What type of deal?" And he goes with a sigh, "To become a fallen angel." And she goes, "What?" He says, "To become a fallen angel." "Did you?" He goes, "I took it, alright? I, I just did it without even thinking. It was like, I didn't think, I just grabbed and said deal. Like, I don't know why." As then he says, "And Drake said I loved her, so, or I liked her enough to do it. So, yeah. I understand if you don't want to, live here no more because of me." And all Azia did, she goes up to him and hugs him. And she just says, "I understand, it's alright. I'm not afraid of you or I blame you for anything you say. So please, don't worry, alright?" He goes, "Thank you, Azia. You really are a kind person." She goes, "No, don't thank me. I'm only doing what's right." As he, smiles at this. And so, after that, his parents did came in, and they heard, everything, because even they noticed. As they asked, "Can you show us your wings?" And so, black wings come out, and he does have the eye open, and they just say, okay, put on the mask, your mask, the normal one or the new one." As he puts on the new one, as they all say out loud, "That looks awesome," actually. As underneath the mask, he is blushing a little bit red, and he just goes, "Thanks." So yeah, so after that, um, let's just say the next day, the whole entire familiars, going. Um, Rias, Akano, Kiba, Kanako did feel like the difference in Issei. So let's say when they were at the whole entire, Kiba was there, and there was like a full moon that night with again the the familiars. Um, they did ask Issei, "What's so different about you? You have," as he goes, "the scent of a fallen angel." As her eyes widen, he goes, "Look, I'm not here for anything but still protect, Asia. I'm still friends with her. And two, I'm still the same Issei Hudo as I was after I died and became a ghoul. Alright? Besides, what can you guys ever do to me? I'm not gonna hurt anyone in this room. I actually consider you guys my friends, so come on, let's just go." As Akano just says, "Well, can you show us how you look in your ghoul, with your ghoul eye activated and the flames?" As he does, and well, he gets the same reaction, but he just doesn't have the mask on. They all say that looks cool actually, and he goes, "Thanks." So they go to the get the familiars. Not Reese. Ozzy gets the dragon, and well, for some weird reason, there's a wolf just looking at Issei, and he goes, "Hey there." As the wolf just starts wagging his tail, and he just starts petting it, as they go like, "What the?" As the familiar, taker goes like, "Well, that's new. We never see a wolf familiar out here before, but hey, it's best to have, those means you have great potential, and usually only sometimes fallen angels can even get familiar, as he does know, Issa does say he's a fallen angel, and he does say he works for Azazel, but he doesn't like work for him, which they all ask how. He says, "Well, I'm in high school. He's letting me finish up high school, and then he says that he's gonna have work for me then. But I only have like one mission to do." As she goes, "What?" He goes, we basically said not to tell anyone. So, but it involves a guy that he does not like. He wants me to punch him in the stomach or in the face as hard as I can." And she goes, "Really? That's all?" He goes, "Yeah, that's all." He just says it completely bluntly and with a straight face, as that's just shocking to her. But yeah. So after that, after he gets, but that was like before he. I mean, that was way before he got the wolf. So yeah, but the wolf is just like letting him pet, him. Both is letting Issei pet him, and he's just well, he's just like basically saying, "Looks like I have a familiar now." As the familiar owner says, "I guess you do. They always choose their owners, and if they let you pet their stomach, which he is, then they truly like you, and they want you to, be their owner." So, yeah. Well, partner. So, basically, he gets his familiar, which is the wolf, and, yep. I'm making the wolf have a specific thing adding to it. So, basically, also, after he makes the contract with, the wolf and everything, he does say, "Oh, also, I should have warned you about, well, let you know something. Sometimes certain familiars, like wolves or foxes or snakes, something of, well, their size, usually will give you something to use as a weapon. So you may have a sword, basically a sword, nunchucks, guns, whatever. They'll basically just give you it after, a certain amount of time that they spent time with you. And it seems like your wolf does resemble one of a dog. So, you can spend a lot of time with it." And he goes, "Cool." So, yeah, he gets that. And let's skip. Let's do, no, let's say that was like in the little bit in the afternoon, as in, no, say like that was like before school started. As then, Griffia comes into the room after they come back. Now she says a man will be coming here at this time after school, so please be ready for him. And she goes, "Of course." And yeah, so when that happens, Issei says he's gonna come too, as Griffia looks at him and with surprise, and then let's just say a little bit of just a stare that Issei knows as going like, "Why is he here?" Like confusion. And he just says, "Friends. That's all you need to know." As she nods. Renier did text him asking where he was. He said he had to, bring Ozzy here because of getting familiars. And then, all of a sudden, she just texted him, like, really fast. And he's like, "Oh, what type of familiar did you get? Or did you get none? If you did, what did you got?" And he goes, then he just finally texts and goes, "Oh, you'll see when you see, alright?" She goes, "You got familiar? What type? What type? What type?" Just all that. And it's like, it's kind of laughing. Easily laughs at this, which no one did hear him laugh besides Ozzy, which kind of was shocking to them. And he goes, "What?" They said, you laugh? He goes, yeah. Why? And then basically, Rhea says, so, who you talking to? As even Akuno's confused. And he goes, my girlfriend, Renair. As they're shocked. And he goes, but she, you know, she killed you. She kidnapped Azia. And he goes, yeah, and, well, let's just say, since I had wings, I learned how to fly in the middle of the night, and I found a guy in the hospital that, Renair did say on their date, or tries, no. As, Issei does remember during their date, they went by a hospital, as Renair went in real quick, and Issei just technically followed. I wanted to have this as a flashback. So yeah, so Issei followed her to the hospital as she visits a elderly woman, and she goes, "Hey, Mrs. Such and Such," and she goes, "Ah, Renair, how are you doing?" She goes, "Good. I'm on a date, but I wanted to come by see how you are." She goes, "I'm doing fine, dear. How's everything at my house?" He goes, "Oh, it's no problem. I'm taking care of it." "Oh, that's good." She says, as Issa remembers her as he goes, "Wait," and he does came in and goes, "Hey, Mrs. Such and Such." He goes, "Ah, Issei, is that you?" He goes, "Yeah. How are you?" She goes, "Oh, I'm doing fine." He goes, "I didn't know you. I didn't know you went to the hospital. If I knew, I would have came by and visit you." She goes, "Oh, it's no problem." And he does ask, "How do you know Renair?" She goes, "Oh, well, I met her 4 months. I met her like before she went to your school. She was looking for a place to live and such, and I offered her a place to stay, and now, well, I treat her like my own daughter since my own daughter doesn't come by no more. And Renair's been taking care of the house and come by here every day after, well, was taking care of me for a whole entire month. And my condition was technically getting worse, but it got better. A man came in here, and that's all I remember. As, Renair says, well, so basically, Issei had a asking what the in his head, and, after they leave the hospital, he goes, "Who do you think it was?" And he goes, "My boss is Zazel." And that's all she said. As, you know, that's how he explained why she needed the Twilight healing. Turns out it was a disease that would have killed her in a matter of months. She's still a good 80 years old, so she still has she has pretty much a lot of life in her still. As Azia now kind of feels like she understands, but then Yusei does say, but she was ordered to take it anyways. So it's technically not her fault. It's a guy named Kokobill's fault. And my boss did tell me whenever I see him, I'm allowed to kill him, nearly kill him, or rip off his wings. As they all look at him going like, what the? He goes, yeah. Well, anyways, see you guys. Come on. As, Azia and him leave. And Rita was like, I hope Renair is okay with him. Even Ankano says, I know the way I am, but him just saying that straightly, plain, simple, without flinching or worry on his face is kind of terrifying. And then Griffith goes, you do know he's a fallen angel, right? And they say, we know, he told us. Straight up. Like it was nothing to him. Like it was a normal Tuesday. As Griffith goes like, wow, that's straight up face. And they, Rita goes, yeah. So, after that, after they get into class, Renair comes in, she hugs Issei. Some people are seeing it, she's just sitting on the desk, um, on his desk, just playing with his hair. And it's just some guys are like, oh, what the? So then his two friends come in, and then she just thinks, why not tell everyone? As he, as basically Azio's in there, but she doesn't know what's gonna happen. But Issei has that face like he knows, and he just says underneath his breath, "All right, let's kiss." And so they kiss. So the girls and the boys and his friends who see this are in shock, and Azia just says, she's just basically looking a little bit happy over this. And then his two friends just go to the floor in defeat and be like, no. So yeah. And they stop stop kissing, and some of her friends in the classroom go like, "You're dating him?" And she just says, "Look at him." He still has his class on. He goes, "Hi." She goes, "Hello there." And so their faces blushes immediately, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, I can get it." So yeah, and class starts. The day goes normally until the afternoon. So they go to the cult club. Sonia and Tsubaki are there, and well, I'm sorry about my parents, but so afterward, so basically, while everyone's getting, the preparation was already done. Griffia was, there, and then Issei and Ozzy are there along for Nair. And Renair just says, "Oh, I got a text from Azazel. Hold on." Alright, so, as, Renair says, "Oh, I got a text from Azazel this morning. He says to text him, when he comes. When the target of yours comes." And he goes, "Alright." So he has his glasses on, he has a book, he's reading it, and she goes, "Japanese poetry?" He goes, "Yeah. I mean, I kind of like reading it. And also, I mean, it's mostly I try to find the meaning in the words, try to, feel the emotions behind them." She goes, "Oh, that's pretty cool." He goes, "Really? Some people find that lame. Sorry." She goes, "No, I like it. It just means it's you." He smiles at this with a little bit of blush. And his Griffia seeing this, and she's wondering, what the, like, that's her boyfriend. Mm, I don't know if I should feel jealous, because, I mean, if, her husband, she says, well, is, Zach's had white hair, what would he look like? And she just imagines her face goes immediately red, and, she shakes her head off, like, nope, nope, Mark. So, yeah. So then, a razor comes, he goes, "That's him." And she goes, "Yeah, his name is a Razor Phoenix." And basically, the whole entire situation happens. So instead of, how can I say this? So instead of, like, after the whole entire, Reese is sitting next to him and him saying his lines and stuff, then he does say, compliment about all the girls that, Reese has underneath her, that what are his, will basically be his too. That's when as he does like ask Doe about those two, as then Issei closes the book, and Azia and Rhaenyra feels this pressure off of him. He basically, did a little text to, you know, Azazel saying like he's here, and I'm gonna punch him soon. So you better get over here pretty quickly. As then, what happens? He basically asks Akano, "Akano, can you please come over here for a second?" She goes, "Yes, all right." And as Razor says, "What are you doing?" You're supposed to, help, stay by. As for some reason, I can just listen to him. And then he even looks at, he takes off his glasses, and then he looks at Rias and he goes, "Rias, please move away from the table and come over to where Renair is." As she does, and which unknowingly, like, that's very, very confusing to her. And so he basically holds out his book saying, "Can you hold this, please?" And Akino says, "Sure." So then Issei jumps over over the couch onto the, have his feet land on the floor. Then he walks around it over to where, Razor is. But and immediately he flips the table upwards, and Razor goes, before Razor could even react, he only got up, and then all of a sudden they just hear like 13 boosts, and then a punch just happens right in his gut, send him flying right into the wall. As then Issei catches the table, puts it down, and this is like, also increasing his speed. So then he actually able to catch like whatever was on the table and put it right back. And then he just sits down and sipping the tea. He goes, "Akano, this is very nice, very good tea." And then she goes, "Thank you." And with Griffia, no one knows what happened. And then he goes, "Renair, how long till he comes?" "Probably in 3, two, and right when she's about to say one, Razor goes like, "How dare you hit a Razor?" As then, boom, the door opens, and it's Azazel. And he goes, "Ah, sorry I'm late for the party. Ah, seems like you did it for me." He goes, "Sure thing, boss." And he takes another sip of the tea, as Akuno and Ray, Ray is going like, "What was that feeling? That came over us?" As he goes, "Ah, seems that you already unlocked your power." He goes, "Wait, what power?" "Well, that power of yours that I gave, basically, I technically tweaked the card to have a little bit of power behind them. Each level that you have, since you're on level 1, you only have the power to, well, ask people to do something and they'll do it for you. So, it's kind of come in handy for you. The more power you'll have, that we unlock, the stronger you'll get, kid." Yes, alright. And he does have his arm with with his, you know, sacred treasure, well, his booster gear out. As Rachel goes, "Zazel," he goes, "The one and only." Oh, we're expecting guests in 3, 2, 1. As both fire and circle appears. As then Issei's just sitting in a chair, sitting in the seat still sipping tea. As then he goes, "Ah, I see. The Phoenix household and the Gremory household. Hello, Mrs. and Mr. Gremory, and Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Azazel Phoenix. It's a pleasure to meet both of you." As they say, it's a pleasure to meet Issei Hudo, Ghoul, Fallen Angel, and the Red Dragon Emperor. As he holds up his arm with with his boosted gear out, which they're all in shock, and Azazel just says, "Kind of lucky I found him. He was on a date with his girl, and some human that was in love with her was gonna try to kill our dear Issei here. She took the bullet, I healed her, but the deal was he became a fallen angel afterwards, which he was gladly accepted." And Zex is there, and he basically says, he looking at the wall, he goes, "Did you hit?" He goes, "Yes." He's weak, basically, compared to me, actually. And Razor says, "Just because you're a fallen angel does not mean..." And he goes, "No, I have the boosted gear. I'm a fallen angel who has the power to basically ask people to do something for me, and they'll do it." And as he puts down the cup of tea with the saucer, walks away from the table and chairs, and activates his eye, and then his Kagune comes out, which is just 4, as he goes, "And I can do this. What can you do besides throw massive fireballs and what, heal yourself?" As Razor just gets mad, and he does throw a fireball, and then all of a sudden, Issei just smiles, cracks his finger, as then his all 4 Kagunes go at the ball, ripping it apart, and the flames disperse. And so the Rays are just in shock, and then he goes, "So, boss, what was this supposed to be?" As then he goes, "Oh, well then, I'm here to have a, well, battle between the Gremory household, which is, at least, which is the Gremories, along with Issei, against Razor. But the only key thing is, Issei is the only one that's gonna fight every single chess piece of yours, Razor." And he smiles at this and he says, "I agree." He goes, "Good. So, by the way, the winner will be, well, the winner for the Gremories will have Ria's Gremory not be, doing the marriage between a Razor and, between Rias and a Razor. She's allowed to choose whoever she wants to marry." End of story. And if Razor win, he gets to marry Rias. As the wedding is technically, they're doing the day before the wedding. That plan still happens. Both parents agree to this. As Razor says, "Ha, he can never beat my, Paraj," and he summons all his pieces. As he goes, "Hello there, ladies. It's nice to meet you all. I'm Issei Hudo, your opponent." As they do blush a little bit, and Then Rhaenyra comes over to him and holds his arm because his hands are in his pocket, and they just thinking, is that his girlfriend? And then the queen just says, "You must be his girlfriend." She just, mm-hmm. She just says on impulse, "You're very lucky," which out loud Razor was like, "What? Uh, huh?" And so yeah, so basically they're gonna go to train it, but that's gonna be in the next part because I gotta go out early before work. So this is where I'm gonna leave it off. I'm gonna be uploading this. So I hope you all have a nice day, night, wherever you are, and bye everyone.